Put a smile on your face because it's pumpkin carving week, and today we are carving an emoji face into a pumpkin here on My Sketchy Habit. Hello, my name's Patrick, I'm an artist, and this is My Sketchy Habit, where we draw every day and we don't have to be ashamed, because we're art positive and we believe in the good of doing art as a practice, as a thing. And it's not so much about perfect endings as it is about the journey along the way, and so I thought I'd share that journey with you here on My Sketchy Habit. This week we have something incredibly special. I'm stepping out into a brand new medium here on YouTube, and we're going to be carving pumpkins because it's pumpkin week here. I've carved many a pumpkin in my day, and so I've got tips and tricks to help you carve a pumpkin. And today we're doing a really easy one, which is an emoji pumpkin. I'll show you how to take it to the next level. It'll be super great. I cannot wait to share that with you. Speaking of sharing art, we have an art gallery where I want to share your art. All you have to do is join the Discord down below, join the Doodle Croodle, and show us what you can do. And yeah, I would love to see you there. We're an art positive community, and we have a monthly inspiration sheet that helps to inspire ideas. This month we're doing ideas around costume month? I don't know, costume season. Costume season is the word I'm looking for. And over the weekend we had a couple inspirations given out. One of them was gravy, and this was my version of gravy. I would love to see what you thought of these prompts, any of them really, or just what you're working on in art. We love to share your art because we're art positive. I will have today's at the end of the video, or you can join the Discord and get the whole list. As I said just moments ago, we are going to be doing pumpkin carving, and today we're going to be doing an emoji pumpkin. Very simple to do, but we'll take it one step further than just a face carved into a pumpkin, and I'll show you how. Let's get to the carving. All right, we are going to be carving some pumpkins this week, and you can see me here getting started with our first pumpkin. I picked a bunch of small pumpkins just for simplicity's sake. The first step that you really need to do is carve out the top of your pumpkin. Now, there's two ways of doing pumpkins. We're going to mainly do the one where we pull out the top so we can put a candle in. That means you need to cut a lid around your pumpkin so that you can see into it and scoop out all the guts. I just want to remind you that using a knife is difficult and dangerous, so please make sure that you are either wearing protective gloves. I often wear protective gloves, but I'm so accustomed to it that I decided not to for these videos, so you can see my cool nails. But knives are dangerous, so please be very careful when you're working on your pumpkin. You can see me here scooping out all the guts, trying to get this lid ready so that we can start carving this pumpkin. We are going to be doing an emoji pumpkin today, which I think turns out really fun. Now, usually when you're carving a pumpkin, you might carve out the eyes and the mouth and call yourself done. We're going to take it one step further. You can see here I'm drawing the initial shape of our emoji with a dry erase marker. You can see it's super easy to erase and easy to draw on, which makes it ideal for carving. So if you make a mistake, you don't have to worry too much about it. What we're going to do now is we're going to remove the front of the pumpkin from the pumpkin. So we're not going to carve all the way into it. We're just going to get off that top orange layer. Now you can see me using my knife here to do what's called a stop cut. It means that I'm cutting a line along the edge where I want the line to be, and then I'm taking my knife and I'm pushing it towards that line, at which point it's going to give way, right? So we make the line and we push into it in order to create the line that we're doing. You'll also notice that my knife is very rarely pointed towards my hand. It is being held by my thumb and being pushed along, meaning that it won't go any further than my thumb can go, meaning that it won't go into my hand here, and it won't go into my other hand as well. We go around and make the entire pattern around the edge, and then we start doing the same thing, removing towards the edge of the orange of the pumpkin. Again, knife skills are very tricky. You can buy gloves that help you, that are cut proof, which means that you will not cut yourself nearly as much. I was a wood carver for many years. I carve pumpkins all the time. I typically do it with the gloves on, but for these videos I chose not to. And ultimately, I have never cut myself when I'm wearing the gloves, and that's a really important thing. They're very cheap on Amazon. You can buy them, no problem. You can see we're just removing the layer here. I think I end up deciding I didn't get quite enough because it's very green, so I do go back and do a little bit more. But already you can see we've got this basis for our emoji. And this is what's going to take our pumpkin to a new level, right? We are just removing that top level and exposing the yellow underneath, which means that we already got that emoji yellow, which we all know and love. and we're going to be able to create the holes for the face. It's game time! I'm going to be drawing an image, and it's your job to guess it. Can you guess it before time is up? Let's find out. Now what I'm doing here is I'm doing deeper stop cuts around my edge. Now that my edge has been defined, I can go along and make it deeper. A lot of pumpkin carving is creating depth and the illusion of depth. And we use the roundness of the pumpkin to help us in that. Our face is going to be round because the pumpkin's round. But we also go in deeper here and create deeper shadows to make our face sort of more pronounced from the pumpkin, right? We've carved off that initial layer and now we're trying to get a little bit deeper around the edge by doing stop cuts, by moving ourselves towards, and just slowly but surely moving the pieces around the pumpkin. Pumpkin carving is really delicate. And this is a really important thing to think about when you're carving pumpkins. Sometimes things go wrong. It's a soft material. It's not really made to be carved, right? It's not like it's manufactured to be carved. Things will go wrong and you'll have to adjust. And so just take your time and do the best you can. Slowly but surely is the best way. You may feel like you want to go faster, but going faster often means that you're exposing yourself to either getting cut, which is terrible, or you're going to ruin your project by going too fast. Now that we've got the pumpkin surface put down, it's time for us to do our emoji. Now we're going to do a simple smile. You'll see here I'm using like the cheapest carving tool possible. You can get these at like the dollar store, and I'm using just a generic knife. This knife I actually bought for wood carving, and a number of the tools I'll use later this week are wood carving tools, old wood carving tools that don't carve wood anymore. Now with this mouth, you can see I'm cutting it out, but now I'm going in and I'm trying to get around the edge of the mouth, not cutting the exposed front edge, but the inside bottom edge. You can see me here trying to get sort of at an angle. It's a little rough to see. Trying to expose more of the inside of the mouth to light. It allows us to have more dynamics being created. We're going to do the same thing with our eyes. We're just going to cut in here. I'm going to start by cutting sort of a sliver of eye and then begin to shape the roundness of my eye around it. Because pumpkin is a really difficult material to break through, despite being soft, you want to be very careful when cutting out things all the way, right? We're cutting through to the middle, which means that we want to be very careful in how we do it. And so cutting these initial slivers and then working on the circle slowly but surely allows us to make an easier and better circle. You can see the two eyes, I actually used two different tools to do them. I used the sharp knife the first time, and then I used this pumpkin carving knife the second time. Again, it doesn't really matter. It was what works best for you. Ultimately, though, we're going to be carving out these circles, following the edge slowly through cuts, and then, of course, trying to cut through, creating that angle along the back so that the top stays flat, but underneath we get towards some of it, creating our perfect little smile. It's time for the dad joke, bad joke. My dad sends me a joke every single day in WhatsApp, and I collect them all up so I can share them with you. And today we have a pumpkin-y joke. We have pumpkin-y jokes all week because it's pumpkin week. And this is the first one. What do you call an athletic pumpkin? What do you call an athletic pumpkin? A jack-o'-lantern. A jack-o'-lantern. What do you call an athletic pumpkin? A jack-o'-lantern. That's the dad joke, bad joke. Let's get back to the carve. And with that, I think we've more or less arrived at the end of our pumpkin. I'm going to go around and cut the edge that I created at an angle just to make a little bit more of an exposed space for our pumpkin. And in the end, I'll throw a candle in it and show you what it looks like. But that is basically how you do an emoji pumpkin. I'm going back through here, I think, and cleaning up. That happens. You can always go back through and clean up your work. I think also you can try all sorts of emojis. It doesn't have to be a smiley face. You can do a tongue sticking out. You can do a winky face. You can do whatever you like. The other thing I like to do is come along and use a paper towel on the pumpkin to just sort of dry out the parts that are really wet, or to get some of the goopy stringy bits that are still on it. Let's check out the final reveal of our pumpkin. And that's our Emoji Pumpkin. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned a little bit about pumpkin carving, and I hope you give it a try to do your own pumpkin carving this season. It's not as hard as it looks. Remember to be safe, and of course, have fun. I want to see, if you carve a pumpkin, I would love to see it and put it here in the art gallery. We have an art gallery where we want to share your art, and of course, we've been working on October inspirations. Our inspiration for today is maple. Maple. Costume season maple. Whatever you think that is, I would love to see it. You can share your art, whether it's pumpkin carving, whether it's a daily inspiration, whether it's drawing, sculpting, whatever you do. I'd love to see it. Join our Discord, join the Doodle Croodle, and show us what you can do down in the link below. We would love to see you there. For now, that's going to be it for today. We have 4 more pumpkins that we're going to be carving this week, and I cannot wait to share them with you. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing a skull, and it looks very cool by the end. I cannot wait to share that with you. But for now, we're at the end of our video, which means it's time for me to remind you of the one rule of my sketchy habit, which is really our sketchy habit, which is don't tell anyone about our sketchy habit. That's between you and me. Thanks for being here, friends. Keep being awesome. Bye!